Hello everyone, it's me Chris. Hope you're having the best day of your life. I know that I am. So I have my cigar in hand. I'm not smoking it this evening. I'll be smoking it tomorrow morning when I have some time for my meditation and everything else. But something I want to talk about is the memories that make cigars so powerful to me. How cigars helped me in some very difficult situations, and how cigars helped me really learn to commit and to have difficult conversations that were necessary. And so, a little background, a little story. So when I was about 21, 22, so I had a friend. I'd grown up with them, and really close friends. Like, these people were like my family. They basically took me in. I was basically kicked out of my house when I was a kid, and these people stepped in and kind of took that parental role and went above and beyond to basically raise me as their own. And so that's where it really changed my life. But this family, as wonderful as they were, they every family has their own demons, right? And if they don't, well, they're lying. So this family, they had a son who, again, I see like a brother, someone I love, someone I care about. And sadly, he struggled with alcoholism. And for me, it wasn't apparent at first. I just didn't have experience with that in the past. But this guy, he struggled with some mental disorders. He struggled with isolation, loneliness, everything else. And he's someone who just really needed a friend. And he struggled with alcoholism mostly because he struggled with dealing with what was in his head, and he struggled with the loneliness that he had all the time. And so, and I relate, I get it. And so basically, he lived at home, and he was like in his mid-20s, living at home. And, which again, when you're a guy in your mid-20s, you're living at home, that's not the best place to be, and it can be hard with that alone. And so he would go out, and he would generally sneak out in the middle of the night, and he would go to like a gas station and buy some kind of cheap wine, one of those awful gas station wines, in cash, and then go drink it and come back drunk off his ass and just, go be belligerent or go break something or whatever it may be, and then go pass out. And so when I became aware of this, again, this is somebody I viewed him as a brother, a friend, someone I care about. And so I struggled at that time in my life with having difficult conversations with people. And for me, this is what I care about. This is somebody I wanted to have this conversation with, because again, he was ruining his life and rapidly destroying his life. And so my thought behind it was, well, I need to have this conversation with him. How do I do it? And so one evening, I was over at the place, and I was probably about like 22 at the time. And so he was out there by himself again. He was trying to hide it, but you kind of see him hiding to his side, just a little bottle of cheap gas station wine. And again, like, this guy would be like really messed up after a little bit. And so I was thinking about, I need to talk to him, and he's not in a good place. I need to talk to this guy, and also he's in a position where he might gotta wreck his life, but I don't want to attack him. I want to come at him as a brother and come at him from a place of love and everything else. And coincidentally, what I had on me was I had my cigar. And so he's sitting there, he's in a dark place, and just not a good place to be. And he's telling about some of his memories and all the fucked up stuff from his childhood and everything else. And so what I did was I sat next to him, had my cigar, I lit it. I'm smoking my cigar. I said, "Hey buddy, let's trade." And we sat there and we just shared a cigar together, this Romeo and Juliet Robusto. And we smoked the cigar together, and he just kind of poured his heart out to me. He just told me he's lonely, and he struggled with the fact that he had a learning disability, and things like reading was tough for him for years because of dyslexia, everything else. And he just struggled with this isolation for years and years and years. And kind of over cigar, we were able to kind of bond as brothers, help pour his heart out, and it helped me commit to that difficult conversation. It helped me be able to commit to sitting down and just bonding with somebody. And so for me and my friend, when I would see him, again, because he didn't really have any friends, I was one of the only friends he had. And so we'd sit down, but again, I held him accountable, because I was like, I'd tell him, I'm not gonna tolerate this garbage from you, because you're my friend. You'll not destroy your life on my watch, because you're my friend. And so oftentimes when he would, I would catch him, and you could tell he'd been drinking again, or he was trying to get his hands on alcohol again. Like, he was to the point where he was drinking rum and alcohol, guys. Like, oh my gosh. I would sit down with him and have the conversation. I'd get a cigar, light it, and we would just pass the cigar one to another and just share a cigar together and just talk it out and go to the situation. And so, yeah. And so, luckily, beautiful thing is that he was able to get over alcoholism. He was able to get his life back in order. And he was able to actually now have a pretty thriving business where he is doing some great things, and it's really beautiful and it's amazing. But I'll say though, for me, because I lacked the courage to have the conversation on that season of my life, what kind of helped me with the courage was sitting down with my cigar, sharing a cigar, bonding as brothers, and just talking it out. And for me, that's one of the beautiful things about cigars is that the commitment, the conversation, to just being there for somebody else and being in someone's presence and just openly just pouring your cup, right? Letting your cup be full. Anyway, I don't know if you're relate to a story like this. I know it's something that I remember. It was a beautiful cigar story for me. It probably helped me fall in love with cigars even more. Anyway, thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts. I'm Chris. Subscribe, like all that good stuff. And I'll see you later, right? Bye-bye.